right, it is Basement Tapes number 38, and we are at 1952. And you know what that means? The legendary 1952 Topps baseball set. And I am an advocate and a proponent of calling this the first Topps set, full Topps baseball set, regardless of what you feel about the 1980 or 1951 red and bluebacks. This really was a set that changed everything in our hobby, of course. Post-war, it is the granddaddy of them all, and it is truly a game changer and put Topps firmly in the catbird seat of collecting superiority against Bowman. Bowman, bigger. These are bigger cards, bigger sets, and out of nowhere, Bowman suddenly had a challenger. I'm fortunate enough or unfortunate enough, I don't know what it is, but I only have 82 of these, and I consider that kind of a victory, having 82 out of the 407 in theory cards. But let's read a little bit about this. The cards of this 407 card set measure approximately 2 and 5/8 by 3 and 3/4. The 1952 Topps set is Topps' first truly major set. Card numbers 1 through 80 were issued with red or bluebacks, both of which are less plentiful than card numbers 81 through 250. In fact, the first series is considered the most difficult with respects to finding perfect condition cards. Card number 48, Joe Page, and number 49, Johnny Sane, can be found in each other's write-up on the back. However, many dealers today believe that all cards numbered 1 through 250 were produced in the same quantities. Card numbers 251 through 310 are somewhat scarce, and numbers 311 through 407 are quite scarce. We know why. Cards 281 through 300 were single printed compared to the other cards in the next to last series. Cards 311 through 313 were double printed on the last high number printing sheet. The key card, of course, in this set is Mickey Mantle number 311, which was Mantle's first of many Topps cards. A minor variation on cards from 311 through 313 is that they exist with the stitching on the number circle in the back pointing left or right, or as they wrote, right or left. There seems to be no print run differences between the two versions. Card number 307, Frank Campos, can be found in a scarce version with the one red star and one black star next to the words Topps Baseball on the back. In the early 1980s, Topps issued a standard size reprint of the 1952 Topps set. These cards were issued only as a factory set. 5 people portrayed in the regular set: Billy Lowe's number 20, Dom DiMaggio number 22, Saul Rogovin number 159, Solly Hamas number 196, and Tommy Holmes number 289 are not in the reprint set. Although rarely seen, salesmen sample panels of 3 cards containing the fronts of regular cards with ad information on the back do exist. 554 total cards for your master set, $1,098 average value, and a $608,360 total value. A set of these will cost you between $100 and $250K. We know why. Not only is the Mantle the big card, Willie Mays and Jackie Robinson obviously gaining in popularity as well. Let's look at the top 3, according to Beckett OPG. They say there's 170 rookie cards in here as well. Top 3, according to Beckett OPG, are probably no suspense here. A Mickey Mantle, a Jackie Robinson, and a Willie Mays. Of course, Eddie Matthews rookie card is consistently the most valuable Topps rookie card in existence. Let's see here. I have, like I said, I have 82 of these. One of my prized possessions is card number 1, the Gus Zernial, but we'll get to that in a few. 1952 Topps, according to TCDB, 407 cards, 2 and 5/8 by 3 and 3/4. Legendary set. The teams represented here, they're all there. And we don't need to go over them line by line, but all the teams in the major leagues are represented. Errors and variations, 166 records. Of course, we have redbacks, bluebacks, date of birth issues, and various other things. Of course, a set this big and this large out of the gate, Topps was going to have some issues. 36 Hall of Famers included in that are the various variations, so there's probably less than we think, right? Because Rizzuto, Irvin, Spahn, Hodges, Snyder, Roberts, and Slaughter both suffer from having various backs. And then on top of that, we have Feller, Shainitz, Mize, Berra, Minoso, Ashburn, Doby, Kell, Mays, Lemon, Wynn, Mantle, Robinson, Campanella, DeRocher, Reese, Wilhelm, Herman, Dick Williams, Bill Dickey, and of course, Eddie Matthews, the creme de la creme of Topps rookie cards. Rookie cards, again, 148 variations, all that stuff. We talked about Eddie Matthews, last card. What an honor for Eddie Matthews, legendary player, obviously, but a legendary card in the hobby. One of those sneaky cards that I guess everybody knows about at this point. But yeah, the number one Ichiban, as they say over there in Nippon land, Ichiban rookie card. Comments? There are aplenty. Passe Gaming says, are we rating these sets on their look and style or based on the players within or the value of these cards? Mixture of all three. It's hard to quantify such an iconic set of baseball cards. I personally rate these based on their visual appeal, and that was their intent before value was even considered. See a pick that matches the 203 Curt Simmons in minor league uniform. So apparently, I'm not going to click that. But there's a picture out there that Curt Simmons in his minor league uniform that was the artwork for the 1952 was taken from. Charles Vickers says, I regret opening these packs just for the gum. I must have had the most expensive sound effects inserting these cards into the spokes of my wheels. Among other things, this is my greatest disappointment, although it had to create a shortage of cards printed. Imagine living that life with that burden, Charles Vickers. Get to 2018 and you're worried about cards from your youth 56 years earlier. So hopefully you found peace on the other side there. Round the diamonds back. In my quest to complete my childhood dream of owning the whole collection of Topps baseball cards, I seriously doubt that I'll ever complete this one. I did complete the reprint set along with the originals for the 5 unreleased reprints. Great set, of course. Wish Joe DiMaggio, Ted Williams, Stan Musial, Casey Stengel, and a host of other head cards in this set. Bob 837 says, what a treat to see. I collected cards from the early era, started in 54 when I was 8 years old, but I had 2 older brothers who had the 52 cards. Of course, we never had the foresight nor the money to keep them in that condition. We flipped them against the wall and maybe kept some of our beloved Dodgers aside. Furillo, Snyder, Padres, Labine, Robinson, Hodgers, etc. The typical story happened to me. Went into the Army in 1966, and my beloved mom gave them to all my cousins. No regrets at all. Would you trade 3 cat's eye marbles for the 1952 mantle? Just joking. Thanks, Bob Bartel. Thank you for your words there, Bob. Wonderful, wonderful reminiscing, of course. Packaging. We see these wrappers floating around a lot. The red, the green, and the kind of bone white Topps baseball cards. A lot of them out there. Boxes. Mr. Retailer shouted out on the back of these things. The packs, same thing. Looks like Columbus Day. And then there's a red, white, and blue wrapper as well, apparently. So 1-cent cards or 5-cent cards. And then, yeah. So beautiful cards. Apparently an uncut sheet right there. Interesting little stuff posted on TCDB. Sell seats and ads. Check this out. New series just out. Topps baseball picture cards. Jackie Robinson, Mickey Mantle, Roy Campanella, Bobby Thompson, Pee Wee Reese collect over 400 leading stars, over 400 players. Listen to the Jackie Robinson show every Saturday, 9:30 a.m. on WNBC. And then there is a Topps chewing gum Bazooka ad from Brooklyn, New York, makers of Bazooka, the Atom Bubblegum, Young America's favorite, world's largest producer of picture card gum. So you can see ringside cards, parade cards, look and see, Freedom's War, Fighting Marines, Wings, Topps Magic Football, Hop Along Cassidy, and of course, Topps Baseball. Some of those cards we will be looking at here in the future of the Basement Tapes. And the bottom of a box, I guess it says 1952 series, 24 of 24 count, 5 cents, giant size, Topps baseball picture cards, full color action shots, plus bubblegum, big cards. Big series, big sales. Topps Chewing Gum, Inc., Brooklyn, New York. And again, we will this is really the set that uh, launched millions and millions of imaginations of cards collectors. It almost put Bowman over the edge. I guess it did in 1953, trying to compete with this 52 set. We'll talk about that later. Card number 1, Andy Pafko, Brooklyn Dodgers. Big fan of this card. I have this card, and I cherish this card as well. I have it in a 1, and I decided to get it slabbed because it really is a legendary card in hobby lore. So card number 1, Andy Pafko, outfield, Brooklyn Dodgers, home, Chicago, Illinois, born February 25th, 1921 in Boyceville, Wisconsin. His eyes are brown, folks. Height 6, weight 190, hair black, bats right, throws right. There's a star in his biography, and it says, in 1943 at Los Angeles, Andy led the Pacific Coast League in batting with a 356 and was brought up to the Cubs at the end of the season. He was a Cub regular until the middle of the 1951 season when he was traded to the Dodgers. A powerful slugger, Andy was second in the league in homers in 1950 with 36 and was tied for fifth in 1951. 1950, he hit 3 home runs in one game. He made the Major League All-Star team in 1945. And what we love about these Topps cards is there are stats on the back. And as we know, the stat line says past year instead of saying 1951. Not quite sure. There is people have speculated that this was meant to be a several year series or release, and that it just said past year instead of having the 1951 on it. Interesting though. But it has his past year stat lines and his lifetime stat lines. TCG, copyrighted, Topps Baseball, printed in the USA. So there they are, the legendaries. There's a red back, there's a black back, single tone ink. Well, that's not true because the red backs are two tone, right? With black and red. Black with all the fancy letterings and numberings, and red with some of the highlighted stuff in the bio and whatnot. So beautiful cards. There are some obviously some horizontals, landscaping cards, and there are some vertical portrait cards. We're looking at Larry Jansen right there, popping up the 7, indicating he is the father of 7 children, and that right there is on the back of his card. So not too many people talk about the 7 from Larry Jansen, but apparently it indicates his 7 children. Pretty spectacular there, Larry Jansen. Congrats to you and the missus for getting a home plate as often as you did. So that's it. That's the 1952 Topps set, legendary episode number 38 of the Basement Tapes. And you can't say too many things bad about this set, except for goodbye.